G'day everybody, welcome back. I wanted to talk a bit about heroic defenses. So today's episode is going to be all about the benefits of the hero defense. It can get you so many goodies, unlock so many things. So let's get into it. I'll show you firstly my obi-4 base. I've got it set up. It's actually a player defense, so it wins a lot of defenses, but it also is very handy for heroic defenses. So you can see the fences are all there, the walls to keep everything out. Everything drops below those walls, and the heroic defense just comes charging on into their death. So one of the key things to winning heroic defenses, apart from your layout, is what buffs you turn on. If you have guard reserve, use them. They're very, very handy. You can see I've just unlocked 2 for this base, and I can pretty much just jump in and do a heroic defense without using anything. Nothing in the squad center. Can even do it without heroes, but today I'm just going to drop 1 hero per heroic defense because not everyone has those guard reserves, and I want to show you how to use the heroes as well. So one of the main things about doing heroic defenses, or about playing the game in general actually, is getting into a good squad. And you can see that we've got level 50 squad perks, and mostly that comes from winning lots of wars. If you can get in a squad that wins a lot of wars, they're going to upgrade their perks quickly. You're going to get lots of great crates, you're going to get lots of resources. It's such a crucial part of the game. So try and find yourself a solid squad, or one that's already done a lot of the work and got high level perks. If you get high level perks, you can turn these 2 on, and you can jump around and do heroic defenses without even having to do a single attack on a planet. So you can just jump in. We'll just jump straight into to getting over to Yavin. Obviously I've never been there before with this base, I didn't realise that. We're relocating. I might have just finished Yavin actually. So heroic defenses, the keys are unlock the planets. You want to be able to jump around to as many planets as you can and get as many crates as you can. Get your armory buffs, get a good layout, and if you're in a good squad, get the perks so that you can jump around for free. It also means that you can get good squad center donations. So I'm going to jump straight in, but if you've got good squad center, you can use it for all your heroic defenses. I've got a completely empty squad center, so I'm going to show you what a good layout does with good buffs. So everything's dropped nicely. They're all coming charging towards. You can see the guard reserve have started coming out of the barracks, and the crucial part of that is that those barracks are under shields, they're buried in the base, and everything just comes pouring out. In there, and you can just see that the 2 that I've got on are the Banthas and the guard reserve. Now they're a good combination because the Banthas will go out and be the meat shield for your vanguards, and the vanguards go after mech, so they go after the vehicles, which is very handy because you've got to stop those AT-ATs from getting into your base and taking down all the shields. And you can see that their first wave, which is really designed to take out your shields, has only got 1. So the odds are now that we're going to clean up, and they probably won't make much of a dent on the base from here on in, because they have failed to get down the shields, they've failed to get down the walls, and those 2 things will help to defend. On top of that, we've got the guard reserve pouring out, and a lot of the attack actually happens on the guard reserve. So they sit out there, and instead of attacking your base, they spend a lot of time attacking the guard reserve and don't really work their way in to the crucial parts of your base, which is wonderful. So we'll just let this play out. But as I mentioned, if you can get into a good squad, it's crucial. You get donations, you get squad perks, you get to join wars, which gets you crates. You get to do the heroic defenses, which makes everything easier, and again you get crates. And the crates are the crucial part, because inside the crates you get frags for unlocking the goodies and get good stuff, you get resources, and another really good benefit of those crates is that you get samples. And those samples in your HQ can help you to go out and win wars, they can help you in conflicts to grind faster, and they can even help you win heroic defenses as well, because you get heroes, you get air units that you might not have unlocked yet. And you can just compound things. The more you do, the faster it gets, the better your base gets, the more defenses you win, the more you hold on to resources. And there we go, 14%, pretty easy. And what we do is, I'm not even going to bother collecting them, I'll do that at the end and I'll show you what we get. I'll just quickly unlock this. I haven't fussed about it with so grinding out the enemy within. I haven't bothered with this base, but as you can see, I've got most of the planets unlocked, and because I turned on those perks, I can just jump for free. 0 stars required, and we can move on, do a heroic defense, and within a very short amount of time, if you've got all 5 planets unlocked, you can get 5 crates, and you can do that twice a day. There is actually a way to move the clock and be able to do a lot more of them in a day, and some people go down that route. I personally don't. If you just do 2 rounds of it a day, you've got yourself 10 crates right there, and that is a massive benefit to your base. So let's jump in again. Now you see I dropped the hero up the top. The reason for that is because it drags in all these sharpshooters on the right that are coming. They death march. They will retarget onto my guard reserve. Every time they change direction, they retarget. But if bikes were to hit the ground, they'll come towards the hero. The snipers that dropped will come towards the hero. Lots of units will target that hero in the top corner initially, and they'll start walking into your turrets without firing a single shot. Once again, the shields are up. In fact, we've got all our shields still up. The walls are still up. This is over before it began. Round 2 will be beginning, and it looks like a very similar result to the last time. I've used one hero, probably didn't need to, but I will keep doing that just because I want to show you that dropping in the back of your base makes a big difference, and how you use your heroes makes a big difference. So shortly I'll use loot, and I'll show you the key to that, which is pretty obvious. Most people probably already know. It's about keeping your eyes on Luke, because once you've set everything else in motion, the base takes care of itself, and your one job will be to just watch your hero, whether it be Kesson or Luke, and to use their special ability when it best benefits you. So once again, they're not making much headway. The guard reserve is pouring on out of the barracks. If you have the factory guard reserves, you could have them coming out as well. I personally think the barracks are much better because you've got 4 barracks versus only 2 factories. And at any rate, with this particular base, I only have those ones unlocked. So it looks like another 14% victory. Haven't used any air. My air command is actually upgrading at the moment, so I'm not going to use any air for any of these heroic defenses. But once you've got a decent base, if your turrets are reasonably well upgraded, if you've got the buffs on for them, and you've got the layout set up nicely for heroic defenses, you'll find that it's pretty easy to win them pretty quick, and you don't need to use a lot of your resources. You don't need to use your air. Early on, if you don't have the armory upgrades already, you might want to use some air. You might want to pour out all your heroes and use some samples. That's all good, because the more you do, the more crates you get. It's worth early on expending to get the unlocks. Let's jump to another one. And even if you don't get a 3-star heroic defense, that's okay too, because if you get a 2-star crate, that's when you're going to get those buffs in the armory for your rocket turrets and for your other turrets. So a 2-star victory when you're doing heroic defenses early on is just as good as a 3-star. And in some ways actually can be better, because you're not going to get guard reserve unlocked quickly initially. So getting the rockets is key. That'll be very, very handy. You'll get the wall upgrades, you'll get the HQ upgrades, and I'll go into the armory, what you should run if you don't have guard reserve. And there's those bikes going through for their death march towards Luke. So now a lot of people will drop Luke and just look over to the left and kind of forget about him for a while. But my recommendation is, once you've done everything that you're going to do, drop all the heroes you're going to do, drop your squad center, and then just watch him like a hawk. Keep your eyes on him, because everything else will take care of itself. You can't really have any other influence on what happens, apart from perhaps dropping air. So keep your eye on him, make sure that he doesn't die before you get to use his swirl. And if in doubt, if you're not sure if he's going to survive or not, use it early rather than late. So I'm not expecting to have to use it in the first wave. There it goes, first wave done, second wave about to begin, and the second wave is generally when he'll get targeted, because he's moved out from the base he's in the forefront, and eventually something will drop to target him. I'm going to say that those mechs there will probably get through all of those Banthas, and I'll need to swirl him, and I'd say my second wave of Vanguards will come over and then kill them. Well, at least that's the plan. Because it doesn't look like my poor little level 2 Luke Skywalker is going to get through both of those guys. And here we go. He's getting targeted. Use it now. Swirl before. You don't want him to die and go, oh, I just missed it. Use it earlier than later, because he can die surprisingly quickly once he gets targeted. Okay. Worked perfectly. He's back off again. And this looks all done and dusted. Now I could make these end a little quicker. If you're in a rush, you can get through them quicker by using more. If I had a squad center, you can use the squad center, of course. But even so, we're getting through heroic defenses pretty quickly here. I'm talking my way through it, so a little bit slower than perhaps I would be otherwise. I'm going to collect that reward. Why not? Let's see what's in there. Anything useful might help us with the next heroic defense. Ski speeders, they're pretty cool. They're very quick. They take up 6 spaces instead of 5. But they're a bit quicker than regular bikes at the high levels. And that Arctic jetpack will come in very handy once I unlock it. That'll help you smash bases on Hoth. So you can see we've got lots of crates already. Let's jump in and start opening them. See what we get. And very quickly you'll get rewards that help you do heroic defenses faster as well. Those crystals, great. Cold weather soldiers, going to get an upgrade on that soon. Look at all these goodies. Just mash that open button. Credits, all good. Heavy samples, they'll come in handy. Yeah, that's alright. Come on, give us something good. Rebel Commando, nice. They could make the process of opening crates a bit quicker, but for a while it's fun. After you've done so many heroic defenses, it gets a bit boring. Oh, look at that, brilliant. We got another guard reserve. Easy as that. So you can do this, if you did it every day, within a week you'll have stuff unlocked. Really good stuff unlocked. And you can, if you just keep at it and you do it regularly, you'll upgrade most of my guard reserve that I'm using here, and I'm smashing these heroic defenses. I'm getting 3 stars. I'm not using hardly anything because my turrets are upgraded and I've got the right buffs on, and I've got a really good layout. But I'm only level 1 guard reserve. If you get those up to level 5 or 6 or really high, they not only will smash heroic defenses, absolutely obliterate those troops, they'll also get you wins, defense wins. You'll smash the opponents coming in to attack your base as well. And it's so satisfying to log in, especially on a conflict. You do a first attack on a conflict. So you can see I've got 2 guard reserves there. You log in and you've got 8 or 9 defense wins in a row. It's just such a good feeling. So if you don't have both of those guard reserves unlocked, let's say you've got 1 guard reserve unlocked. Let's go in and have a look. This is how I would set it up if I only had 1 guard reserve unlocked. Turn 1 off. Actually, let's just have a look as if you had no guard reserve. If you've got your armory upgraded enough, you can run 2 sets of turrets. You should run walls and HQ with it. If your armory isn't upgraded enough, run the heatsink. It's better than the reinforced mounting. Okay, so if you do have 1 guard reserve, my preference would be the Vanguard, but obviously it'll be dependent upon what you've already unlocked. With the Vanguard you can run 1 more thing, which in this case, with 1 guard reserve, I would run the heatsink again, because your guard reserve actually works a bit like the reinforcing. It gets out in front and protects your turrets anyway. Alright, so that's what I would run if I had one guard reserve unlocked. And obviously if you've got 2, run 2. They're just so beneficial, as you saw in those heroic defenses I did. So just to recap, heroic defenses are crucial to the game. They accelerate your progress in the game, and to be able to do them effectively you need a really good layout. Feel free to copy one of mine if you want. You need a good squad with high level perks, and donations also help in your squad center. So try and find yourself a really good squad. Alright, if you've got any questions, drop them below. Thanks for watching.